Well, joining us now is Dr. Walter C. Ladwig III. He's an associate fellow at RUSI, a think tank here in the UK, and he specializes in South Asian security.
Today, the world witnessed an image that felt ripped straight from a Cold War thriller. Xi Jinping of China, Vladimir Putin of Russia, and Kim Jong Un of North Korea standing together in a dramatic display of unity. The photographs and footage dominated headlines, not because they were casual diplomatic meetings, but because of the symbolism behind them. Three leaders, each commanding nuclear arsenals, vast armies, and authoritarian regimes, chose this moment to present themselves as allies. Their smiles may have seemed polite, but make no mistake, this was a choreographed show of strength designed to send a powerful message. For decades, the United States and its allies have shaped the global order, enforcing rules, setting standards, and leading alliances. But what Xi, Putin, and Kim demonstrated today is that this era of Western dominance is being openly challenged. The question on everyone's mind now is whether we are seeing the birth of a new world order. The timing of this display is crucial. Vladimir Putin remains deeply embroiled in the war in Ukraine, where Western support for Kyiv continues to frustrate Moscow's ambitions. With sanctions suffocating Russia's economy, Putin is increasingly dependent on alternative partners to keep his country afloat. Xi Jinping, meanwhile, faces economic headwinds at home, slowing growth and growing tensions with the United States over trade, technology, and Taiwan. Kim Jong Un, perhaps the most isolated of the three, continues to preside over a starving population and a crumbling economy. Yet, when they come together, these leaders transform weakness into strength, creating an image of defiance against the West. They are saying to Washington, Brussels, and Tokyo, "You may isolate us individually, but together we will endure, and together we will resist." Each leader gains something from this alignment. For Putin, Russia's military machine has been bleeding resources in Ukraine. Ammunition shortages and strained supply lines have become major obstacles, and North Korea, despite its poverty, holds massive stockpiles of artillery shells and ballistic missiles that could replenish Russian forces. Xi Jinping, while cautious about being too closely tied to Putin's war, gains leverage by standing alongside Russia and North Korea, signaling that China is not isolated and that it can create its own powerful coalition in Asia. For Kim Jong Un, this moment is invaluable. For years, he has been painted as an isolated dictator with little influence beyond his borders. But standing beside Putin and Xi elevates him to a global stage, suggesting that North Korea is not just a rogue state, but a player in a broader struggle against the West. Western leaders reacted with alarm. In Washington, officials quickly condemned the gathering as a dangerous alignment of authoritarian regimes. NATO allies expressed similar concern, warning that closer cooperation between Russia, China, and North Korea could undermine global security and stability. Their fears are not unfounded. Separately, these nations already present serious challenges. Russia threatens European security through its war in Ukraine. China challenges US influence in the Pacific and beyond. And North Korea destabilizes the Korean peninsula with its relentless pursuit of nuclear weapons. But together, they create the possibility of an alternative power bloc, an axis of resistance that could erode Western influence, destabilize global markets, and challenge the international system that has defined the world since 1945. What makes this development even more concerning is the timing. The display of unity came just as the United States was strengthening its military ties with South Korea and Japan, and as NATO prepared for large-scale exercises in Eastern Europe. The message could not be clearer. While the West organizes its alliances, so too are its rivals. Reports have already surfaced suggesting that Russia is negotiating arms deals with North Korea to support its war effort, while China has been accused of quietly helping Russia circumvent sanctions through trade and technology transfers. These moves reveal that today's performance was not just about optics. It was also a declaration that these leaders are willing to openly defy Western pressure. The implications for the future are sobering. Analysts warn that the world may be sliding toward a new Cold War, though this one would look different from the past. Instead of two clearly defined blocks, the landscape is more complex and more unpredictable. Economic globalization ties countries together, yet ideological and strategic divides push them apart. In this environment, Xi, Putin, and Kim's cooperation could reshape conflicts in profound ways. Ukraine's war may be prolonged with North Korean weapons and Chinese economic backing. The threat of Chinese action against Taiwan looms larger if Beijing feels secure in its partnerships. And the Korean peninsula may grow more unstable as Kim feels emboldened by his new alliances. At the same time, we must recognize that these partnerships are driven more by necessity than trust. Russia fears becoming overly dependent on China. North Korea has long been unpredictable, and China prefers stability over chaos. Yet history has shown that alliances of convenience can still be incredibly dangerous. During the Second World War, unlikely partnerships reshaped the global map. Today, we may be witnessing a similar dynamic, where desperation and defiance fuel cooperation that could challenge the West in unprecedented ways. The images of Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and Kim Jong Un standing together will not be easily forgotten. They mark a turning point in global politics, a reminder that power is shifting and that the old rules no longer apply. The Western-led order that dominated for decades now faces its most serious challenge in years. Whether this moment leads to a prolonged standoff, a series of regional conflicts, or even the rise of a rival global order remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the world has entered a new and more dangerous era. So, we are left with the pressing question: was today simply political theater, staged for propaganda, or was it the dawn of a new world order, lead a coalition determined to upend Western dominance? The answer may not be clear yet, but the consequences of this alignment will shape the future of geopolitics for years to come. But the final question is for you. Are we truly witnessing the birth of a new world order? Or is this just the latest act in a geopolitical drama that has played out for decades? Leave your thoughts in the comments, because history is being written in real time, and your voice matters. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update on global events that shape our future. Until next time, stay curious, stay aware, and remember, understanding the world isn't just about watching the news. It's about seeing the bigger picture.